Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Hopefully. Welcome. If you're watching over on YouTube, thank you very much for being here today. Especially over at TikTok as well. Still waiting for our cohorts to come up. There we go. Hi, everybody. It's me, Trader Max. We are here with the Shogun coin.
GM.
Hello. How you doing today?
Doing good. You got to let me know what accounts to bring up here.
Of course, me. But if as far as like co-host, you can if you want to have Shogun Crypto up, or just not co-host. As far as on the panel, Shogun.
Yeah.
Shogun Crypto's. I'm not sure if Rip and Tear is going to be. He's one of the top 5. Amy's top 5. Everybody else, if we may get a few people who come up or what have you, but we're good.
I'm just getting this link out to a few groups.
Okay.
the old algo trick here and post the space link to the top. Big day today. Big day for all of us.
Yeah, I figured, I have a saying that when you know how to swim, you don't worry which way the river bends, and it's true in politics as well.
It's a good way to look at it. To be honest, too, everyone says it's today. Chances are they won't get a confirmed count until probably
January.
tomorrow or Thursday. Yeah, right. Yeah, the real count will never happen, right?
No, no, no. It's whatever it is. I don't go conspiracy theory. I've been in government on the deep side and on the official side. So I don't. It's not that I don't trust. I just don't. I confirm. Just like in crypto, you got to confirm first.
No, I hear you. I hear you. While we're waiting for people to trickle in, why don't we just kick things off with talking a little bit about the core team and the origins of Shogun? So take us back to the roots here. And
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Like before I get started, though, I just wanted to let everybody know if you hover over my PFP, you can go to my link tree that's on my PFP, which will take you to. We're also simulcasting over on YouTube and TikTok, so both of those profiles are in there. That way, you can watch the screen too if you wanted to mute on either one, mute the other ones, and keep this one open so you can talk and do that stuff. But just to let most of you know, I was an old streamer, so I don't mind simulcasting and showing people what we have as well. So don't just trust my voice. Look at the charts and everything else that we do. But I really do appreciate Hello Moon housing this space, and Jux and Ed and everybody else. So thank you so much for letting us be here today.
dude, I mean, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you for allowing me to share this space with you. Hello Moon Morning Spaces with Shogun. I mean, dude, I've had multiple conversations with you in the back channels, been able to peel back some layers away from the public forum here to get a little deeper rooted in on what your longer term plan is here. And those are sort of the people that I get fired up being around majority of the time in this space. The degeneracy is fun, swing trading's cool, like short-term profits great, right? But we're here for a bigger purpose. We're still super early, and I think your team and what you're building around Shogun is something of major sustainability. So I'm super happy to be here with you to share this.
Well, thanks, Jux. I appreciate that. There is so the history of who we are goes back a little bit further than just the starting of the coin. It this whole era of what we've building kind of spurred with me, but I'm not the primary facilitator. It's everybody that's been here. Of course, I share that. I have humility with this organization because I've been doing a lot of things in my life. I've done a lot. I've seen a lot. I've learned a lot. I've made mistakes. So I'm comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's what really the success is here, is being comfortable with what you are, being able to duplicate that, even if you've made mistakes. But let's take this back. It's like the story of Slumdog Millionaire, if you will. My life has led me to this, into crypto for a reason. I've tested and been in just about every single market that makes money, working from home, MLMs, God, anything you can think of to try to make money, just so I could support my staying at home habit and my building habit. I'm definitely Builders Anonymous president. I love building stuff. In my world, I navigated into all different types of solutions. I was a programmer. I was a little bit of everything. I was a radio DJ. We built radio stations. Amy, who's in the room here as well, was one of my partners from the back in the day of radio and doing a lot of things, marketing, advertising. We created a radio network. We created an investment network in Forex. I traded Forex for a very long time, for more than 20 years, back in the day of trading Forex, when it was just boxes of money going into the bank and boxes of money coming out of the bank 3 or 4 days later, with an indifference of, most of the times, profit. I then worked at TradingView for 4 years off and on as an analyst, and building indicators with them and analyzing the indicators' effectiveness in that world, using the API and their stuff. So I'm very familiar with TradingView. And then I got hurt by the Forex market, so I got out and I got into marketing. And I said, you know what? Let me get into marketing, into a network that that I know that'll have long-term hooks that I needed to be in. I needed something long term, not just something fleeting. So I got into marketing and advertising for small businesses in 2019. And we gathered a lot of people in there, hundreds of clients. By January of 2020, the economy hit. You know what happened, COVID, that kind of stuff, which shut everything down. So I was completely done. I'm like, I am done with, I'm going to go open up a brick and mortar. I opened up a dojo in 2021 in the height of COVID and all that stuff. But I was like, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Let's just keep going. I built an entire dojo. I've been studying martial arts for 40 years. Yes, I'm that old. I am that old. But I got down to a point where I said, there's got to be something a little bit more. I opened up a marketing firm so I can market my own dojo. It started to get popular, started to get out there. My little brother and I, Brian, we're in cryptocurrency when cryptocurrency was just starting in the world. We mined the original Bitcoin back in the day when we first started the process, and we did pretty well. I think we sold Bitcoin at $1, and we had a lot of it. And we thought we were kings. We were kings of the hill back then, because we're like, man, we got the keys of the kingdom here. And then it just exploded. And of course, the best fading story, buying a pizza. But the concept was, I didn't want to be in a mentality of always trying to fix something. I wanted to build, and I wanted to build that people could use. My little brother, about 5 months ago, more than that now, 6 months ago, came to me. He goes, "Hey, have you ever heard of meme coins?" And I'm going to be honest with you, dude, no. And I don't want to get into anything you're doing, right? I was mad at him because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to be in that world of building again. I just got out. I just been through detox of building. I had my dojo. I was happy, but then curiosity killed me. I just had to look. So I had a look, and I fell in love with the degen mentality. Like, oh man, this is about the art. It's about the meme. It's about the funny, and I'm sort of like a self-proclaimed comedian anyway, so I want to do this. Let me just dabble just for a second. I put my toe in. It sucked me right in. It was like lava. It just like pulled me right in, and I'm done. So I spent about 3 months really looking at the market, and what I seen was horrendous. The PvP, the nonsense of people from every possible world trying to take your money. Everything's a rug. When I found out what the first rug was, one that I experienced was almost instantaneous into the network. I'm like, hey, where'd all the money go? It was like that. And I couldn't stand it. We started to build relationship with people. I thought, well, let me do something. Let me just go out and start talking to people. What best way to find out what to do in this industry other than interviewing people, like experiencing it, but interview people, just talk to them. When you have a serious conversation with somebody, the empathy will show through. And I started asking questions. And every leader that I talked to said the same thing. This industry is just riddled with scammers. We can never get ahead. Nobody's true to their word. There's no honor. There's no nothing. So I thought, well, listen, I have this marketing firm. I can provide products to people. Let me provide some products to these guys making websites, because everybody's using Wix or Canva or some, WordPress montage that was just crazy. It was stupid. Never really held any of weight. Didn't have any power to it. So we had Panther Pilot at the time, and as we were building this, I met somebody, Rip, who's in the room here at Rip and Tear, and Rip and I were sitting down. We're talking about education, and he's like, "Max, whatever you do, don't make it W-2. Don't make it like Trader Max's Trading Academy kind of thing like we would do in the old days. They don't want to go to school. They want to have something degen." He goes, "We should use something about the world of honor and like from martial arts." And boy, did that spur with me. It jumped right in. We created Crypto Ronins, which is our test facility that we were testing everything out on. And then a couple of weeks later, as we started building stuff, with meeting Andrew or Crypto, in here he's in the space as Shogun Crypto up there. Meeting Andrew, I met one of the hardest working young men that I have seen in a very long time. And I just completely fell in love with this kid being who he is and what he has done. I already had Amy in my long-term history that I could trust, that I could turn my back to and know that she would always be there. Now I had Rip and I had Drew. We did have one other person that was in that network, but that person decided that he was going to kind of go on and fix his life a little bit first. So I appreciate what he has done, but we'll keep him off of the scene at the moment. The concept here for us, though, was how do we take this industry and turn it into something that's real? Like it's always so tough when you look at a new coin. Like, yeah, you're selling a sizzle. Everybody can see through the bullshit now. Back in the day with PopCat and Pop Dog and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking back in the day like it's a couple of years ago. It's actually months ago. With the notoriety of meme coins and all that stuff, we had to make something a little bit more realer for me. And that's probably not even a word, but in my sense, I had to make something that I could depend on. And I knew one thing I could depend on was me. I knew I could always do the work. And if I found others like me that you could depend on, then you can make anything. And I already could depend on Amy. And now I could depend on Drew. And I could always depend on Rip. So if I could depend on the four of us to really do something and stand by our word, then all I got to do is meet more people like us. And if they're not exactly like us, that's okay. Because it's very difficult. It's a rare find to find people like us. I'll be honest with you, that have the integrity in the higher end. Because when pushed, everybody eats, right? Think about it for a second. You get scared. You get worried. Like, oh my God, like all this, where's this money going? I've done it. Everybody here, if anybody says they've never yeeted before off of a project, you're fucking lying. Okay? I have done it because I got into fear. It's meant to do that. It's meant to have that process. Okay? So we wanted to give you an opportunity to not feel that. And how do you not feel that? By having a team of people who know what they're doing, not just in the experience, but in the understanding what not to do out there, what it feels like on both sides of that. And so we started to build Shogun as a I guess an ecosystem of honor and right at that point. In my dojo, we have a legacy creed up on the wall that explains about right and honor. Like we're willing to think of that before we act, but if you ever come against us that way, don't worry, our hands will bear us out. We will take care of ourselves. And it's the same thing in this crypto world. We're not looking to hurt people. We want to help people, but we also want to build. So we launched into this network of what should we build? We didn't build the coin first. Most companies build coins first. We didn't build the coin first. We built a Shogun system, a trading bot first, and we used a company outside the norm. It was a white label. I'll be honest with you, it was a white label. We were very inexperienced with the process. I had built many of programs before. I could have built it myself, but at this point, I just wanted to really focus on the team and running that. Then we used that company, and it was riddled with issues. It was riddled with processes. It was safe. Okay, it'd been audited. They were a big enough company to be audited, and so we felt safe with the process. But man, it just didn't seem to work out for us. As we started to build out relationships with other people, we met you guys as well. But on September 30th, or actually before that, December 23rd or September 23rd, we decided, okay, it's time to launch our coin. And what way to do it. And so we investigated every way. We weren't going to do pump fund. We weren't going to do moonshot. We didn't want to have that PvP. Everybody's going to wait for it to open and then sell everything they got and then be down the bottom. We've seen that 1,000 times. So we decided to do a pre-sale, but not just any ordinary pre-sale. There was a hidden meeting behind it. So we did the pre-sale on up to September 30th, 7 days long. And we had a soft cap of 200 and a hard cap. Or we had a soft cap of 150 and we had a hard cap of 600, which means we wanted to get to 600 SOL if we had to. But we met 201 SOL for the soft cap. So we met the soft cap and we launched on September 30th. Now, most coins that when they fire off, they drop down like a plummeting stone, but we didn't. We sort of leveled out a little bit lower. We launched out at like 315, leveled out at 215, and it's been up ever since. And I contribute to success from the people and the relationships that we built with all of them. There's been a few faders, right? Kenji. There's been a few people who have not stuck it out. That's okay, right? But because we weren't dependent upon the coin. We had made some money in the very beginning, but then we sold out some stuff on our side. We didn't sell any supply. No supply has been sold other than what's been given away in the farm. About a month into half a month into having the coin, Drew brought to my attention a farm system for yielding farming, and we have just been organizing that the entire time. And we've just hit we hit our all-time high a couple of days ago, 2.6, I think 2.6 mil. We've been just steadily building these channels of workmanship that have been in there. And then when we met you guys, it was like this was a company that was it's U.S. born, it's U.S. run. You got some great programmers that are in there, and we wanted to build out our next system. So that's a very long drawn out, but I figured that's what this space was for today, is to hear the long term story of this, not just some elevator shill. But that's basically where we're at. We have a lot of diamond holders. We have three groups of main people that all receive what we call a utility revenue share. So if you're in doing work for us, not just that you own the coin, but you're actually in doing work with us, you get a percentage of all revenue that we make with the network, which we're still in that process developing out. So it's been a hell of a ride.
It really has been. It really has been. Not even just for you and your journey that you've just spread, but for everyone that has been a part of this eco for the last even just the last year has been crazy, let alone the entire cycle from late 2020, early 2021. And I think what it's come down to now is people are steering further away from hyper speculation and mystique and really looking for that proof of work, looking for real teams coming with real product, and delivering something that can either solve a problem or allow for a smoother experience, being a part of such an infant stage ecosystem here, right, with everything that's being built on the tech side. So I've been super bullish on you guys from the get-go, and it clearly makes sense to me that you're ahead of the curve here and in the right direction. And with the direction, looking at like I know this is tough in crypto, but a 3, 6, 12-month runway for yourself, where do you see things going? Like what's your vision looking forward now?
It's a great question. One thing we did learn, to quote a great philosopher, Mater, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been? Right? Sorry, it's Cars reference. But the concept of that,
I love it. I love it.
the concept of that is to know where not just you have been, but where others have been. And we noticed that the long-term effects, for long-term goals for most of these, always started with one phrase that I've learned to hate: to the moon, right? To the moon. Everybody's to the moon. Well, we don't even know how far away is your moon in your world. How far away is your moon? As you open up your door and there's the moon, or is it more like Saturn kind of thing? So we had to have a goal of what we wanted to commit to first. And the first thing that we did is that we created a tri-phase system of development and building. And this is something that I've coined a little while, tri-phasing. The first is conception, building out what you want to build. Like, what do you really want to build? And once you find it, is it practical to build? That phase of conception is really lining you out. And then second is the actual production. Can you build it? Do you have the people to physically build what you're dreaming? And then finally is distribution. And we knew that those three things always had to happen in any structure that we built, or no matter where we wanted to go was never going to be achieved. So we started to focus on that tri-phase system, and everything started to take off. Even if it wasn't perfect, it was still taking off. So for 3 months, to answer your question directly, 3 months from now, we already see ourselves having, we already have a few tools now. Shogun WebForge is a service network that has tools for all the communities that we'll be dealing with. We're not just a coin that self-serves, we serve others as well. So we bring you into our village of alliances and help you build your coins as well. If you're listening to this and you're a coin, our service system is pretty powerful. In that network, that we want to have our Shogun WebForge to have several hundred, if not thousands, of people building their websites and systems to us. Inside our network of services and tools, we also want to have some outside tools, a DApp system for volume. We have a volume bot that we have two of them actually that have different purposes and values that are being released right now. And plus, we don't talk about anything within the conception that we haven't put a time and effort to and have a foundation already. So anything I talk about now is what we have. But our 3-month plan is to have Shogunix, which is the Shogun community, almost like a DEX screener meets a swap meets a community system for all of the communities that we work with to be able to do trades as well as swaps for their community from all different types of things. And the company that's building that with us is a very powerful company that I see. And then, of course, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that's you guys. So within the 3 months, in fact, sooner than that, we want to see at least at that level of 3 months from now, several thousand coins that are working through our system. Within that, we get transaction fees, of course, which will then support the revenue share system and network, which will revenue share back to all of us. Plus, all the communities get 20%, whatever of the fees that they have that go through their coin, they get 20% of it, which is pretty cool because that'll also fuel it, sort of circulars the system. As far as like a six, you said 3 months, what, 6 months, and what, a year?
3 6 12.
3 6 12. All right. So at that 3 month mark, we stand to be the coin will be multi millions. We would love to say $1, right? I'm not going to LFG you or to the moon it, but I would like to see multiple zeros to that, 10, 20, 30 million at least by in the 3 months. And I see that obtainable because of what we have and what we have done. Before I move on with the coin on that margin, just so everybody knows, we own 80+% of the supply. And when I say we, I'm in direct control, me personally, directing control. I'm fully doxed into the network, everything, because I knew that I could protect my partners. So there was plausible deniability there for everything that I had, that I would be the only one that could hurt this coin. Everybody else can come and go. Even all of the partners could come and go, and I would still be at 200,000 or 300,000 market cap. You understand? So I knew, even with my family and friends being involved, now we own even more than 80%. This is what's really has established us in that process. So when I say we can hit 20, 30, 40 million, that's a very low number of me speculating. So at the 6 month mark, Shogunux will be out. It'll be fluid. It'll be in its second or third phase by that point, which means that it's gathering more tools or gathering more essence to be able to help communities really derive. There'll be in our plan of what we have out, there is a long-term value of validating and valuing coins, not just by their ultimate market cap value, but by what they provide: utility, gaming, services system, just a meme coin, fun and laugh. You see a bunch of these streaming coins that are out there, Memeflix and other places outlet, doing all these things. Memezilla. I'm sorry, I didn't say Memeflix. I meant Memezilla. These project-oriented coins that will service and help with build that cap in there. And of course, at the year, I don't know, maybe owning a small island somewhere. No, I'm only kidding. I see us being past Shogunux into all the trading formats and trading systems in there, and just building as much community respect as possible and really bringing some knowledge to this industry. We're not one of those people that float with it. We actually have full training networks behind the scenes with WebForge and a few other things in there. So I see us really obtaining in the millions of coins at that point. There's hundreds of thousands of coins that release every month through all these places, having our launchpad system in there that you can come in and get all the tools, build out your stuff, use our systems, go through the training, get rewards for that, and do that kind of process, and a huge loyalty network from that. So ultimately enough, there's the year plan. And in crypto, that's like a 20-year plan in W2.
Yeah, dude. I'd say even just a couple of month roadway, it's like 5 years plus. It's crazy how time moves in this space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, this has been a banger, a space, like, just even to give people color on sort of a journey leading into building a proper platform and a business in this space, and doing it the right way, and understanding that it's all about the long term, right? Any of the short term moves are irrelevant if you're building something with purpose, and it makes sense to solve a problem down the line. I appreciate you guys fully, and I'm really looking forward to sharing multiple spaces with you for the next coming months and beyond. But I want to pass the mic off to you one final time to make sure you can direct everyone to where they need to go to stay locked in and clocked in with everything that you guys are doing over at Shogun.
Sure, absolutely. There's a lot of different ways to get a hold of us, mostly through the Telegram. You can go right to Dex Screener 2 and see our chart at any time. and be a part of that solution. You know, check us out. Do your own research, of course. Verify. Uh, you know, so you don't get vilified in this whole process. You can look at our Twitter accounts. You can look who we are. We're completely organic in everything that we do. You can in once you're in Telegram, you can ask any question that there is, as long as it's respectful and with right and honor in that process. If you're just coming in, you're looking to FUD and do all that stuff, you might get tossed around a bit and get the scammer hammer, right? So you can also go to our website, shoguncrypto.com, and watch the things that are on there as they grow. There's a lot of services and system. If you're a coin, you can be a part of our alliances. You can just use our services. Shogunx.io as well as a holder page on it. So we'll have a timer clock here on it pretty soon once we get to a certain level with you guys. That's basically it. I mean, other than that, you know, if you're in Northeast PA, you'll probably come to my dojo and say hello, but I probably wouldn't advise that at that point. But I appreciate your time today, guys. I really do.
I have to ask you before you go.
Mm-hmm.
What's a favorite dojo leader, dojo master's favorite drink?
Favorite drink, like in alcoholic or?
Nope, just any liquid beverage.
Well, I'm partial to water, really. I know it's plain Jane, right? I'm part. You know, I have a big.
Is it water or is it water?
Very very cute.
You gave me value without knowing that I was setting it up, dude. That was
I know.
great. I'm dad jokes extraordinaire. I appreciate you. Thank you for not burying me with that bad joke. But I appreciate
okay.
you guys. All jokes aside, everything that you're doing, everything over at the Shogun team, everybody that popped up from the community as well. The PFPs are fire. Looking forward to more of these in the future. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us here.
And everyone over on the other platforms, we'll catch you guys next time as well. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.